Getting me mic'd up, and she's trying to test me, and I had my microphone. She realized my mouthpiece goes in the front. Anyway, we got a good laugh out of it. So, I like to listen to Paul Hasselbeck's podcast. Paul and Cher and Bill and Holden. And every podcast, they always talk about, it's a beautiful day in my consciousness. So I think we can say that together. It's a beautiful day in my consciousness. Yeah. Isn't that the way it goes? That's what we are taught here in Unity, that no matter what's going on in the outer world, what really matters is what's going on in my consciousness, in my thoughts, and my ideas. And yesterday, a group of us, a sturdy, hardy group, had a chance to practice that because we were here yesterday morning. It was kind of drizzly and overcast and a little bit cool, but we had our clippers and our choppers and our edgers, and we spent several hours starting to work and cleaning up this yard. So I want to thank everyone. Lorraine was here, and Cherry was here, and Linda was here. Who else was? Miss Marilyn was there with her tools. It was great. And anyway, it was just a very, very productive day. I'm going to go ahead and announce this right now. This is going to be an announcement later, but we're going to continue the cleanup day on the 18th in 2 weeks. So that's going to be on Saturday. So just keep that in mind. If you missed yesterday, you'll have another opportunity on the 18th. But anyway, it's time now for our meet and greet. And we had a request from our speaker that when we do our meet and greet today, we're going to do it the laughter way. So whenever you shake hands, we're going to go ha 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 ha. With the handshake, or if you hug, it's going to be a ha 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 ha.
The laughter hug.
And it's buenos dias,
alegría,
alegría,
alegría, alegría, buenos dias, ha ha ha.
Buenos dias, ha ha ha. Everybody does meet and greet each other.
I want your love, put in, put and put I want your love.
Come on, let's hear it.
Let
Christ burning within each and every one of us. Our prayer box is here with slips on it if you wish to make prayer requests. And you can place it in the box. As you know, they're prayed over here by our chaplains for 30 days, and then they're sent to Unity Village. These are in private. They're never read. They're never gone over unless you request special prayers from one of the chaplains, and then we share within the group of chaplains. Ha! That's breath one. Okay. Today our daily word is transformation. And this is also Cinco de Mayo. So to all of you, Cinco de Mayo, happiness, a day of joy and celebration is what we'll have already. So we'll include that with all of our friends who are Spanish speaking, my family included. Christ awareness transforms my life experience. That's the statement for transformation today. Starting with our message this morning is our statement of being. So I'd like to ask you to repeat this with me also. Together. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Our power or attribute for the month of May is power. And the disciple that they used to represent power is Philip. And the location is in the throat or the larynx, because they deal with the word, the power and mastery of the word. I always go back to childhood when I think of Philip. He's not mentioned too many places, but to me he's very special. Because when I was 6 years old, my first crush was on Philip. Okay? You know, he didn't get a whole lot of, reviews in the Bible, but he's living large in my consciousness this morning. So here's to Philip. As we enter our time of prayer, first we want to relax. We take the deep breath and we let it go. And this is where we release the outer world, the concerns, the items that are floating through our minds. Take another deep breath and relax. Today we concentrate on the power of the word. In the very beginning of Genesis, it is written, and in the beginning was the Word. He goes on to say the Word was God, and then he proclaimed all to be good. And that's what we hold this morning. We hold that there is only one presence and one power in our life. And it is always good. But sometimes we give our power away. What am I giving my power to? Am I allowing others to put words to me of sorrow, or confusion, or limitation? Today I want to reclaim my power. We were given the gift of naming the things in our world. And as we name it, we claim it. Today I use the power of the Word to claim good in my life. I claim my good right now, right here. Feel the energy flow through your body. stand tall. All of the negative flows away. You pass through those words, those feelings of limitation. You move forward to the claiming of your power. You use your words today for beauty and joy, for thanksgiving, proclaiming everything in your life as good. As Joseph told his brothers, what you meant for evil, God meant for good. Whatever others may have cast upon us, we release, we let go, we claim our good right now. Today I claim my power, and I am grateful that I am given this gift from divine source. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Pat, for a wonderful meditation. That was so peaceful. And the song there, I guess I should have looked at it.
It's a little different.
So y'all know who our speaker is by now already. And you know, I love it when Susan Julie comes because she always weaves in something going on with her personal life into her talk, and she shares from her own experience. And you know, I like that. When I hear a speaker, I like a speaker who shares their own struggles, their own challenges, and what they're doing and how they're handling it. I asked her, I said, what's the title of your talk? This is what she said. Susan Julie Gonzales.
Good morning. Oh, it's really good to be with you today. Yes, the struggles, you know, we all have struggles. They all show up in our lives, and it's how we respond to those struggles determines the quality of our life. And just to share with you, for those that don't know me and that I haven't met yet, my name is Susan Julie Gonzales. I am a religious science practitioner. I'm on my 10th year, starting my 10th year journey as a religious science practitioner. Centers for Spiritual Living is who the organization is, similar to Unity. They were both Unity, Charles Fillmore and Myrtle Fillmore, as well as Ernest Holmes, who started religious science, were taught by Emma Curtis Hopkins. And the quote that Pat shared with us about everything is good, I love Emma Curtis Hopkins says that, you know, God's second name is good. Good is God, God is good. And so we're always in that place of good with our God, and God is the only thing happening. So everything is good, no matter the appearance, right? I'm also a laughter yoga teacher, and we have among us two laughter yoga leaders. Laura and I took the laughter yoga leader training at the same time, which was almost 10 years ago, right? Ago. Yeah. And Terry is also a laughter yoga leader. She was one of my first students that I taught laughter yoga to. So it's like we have laughter in the house that we can always call upon to share the laughter with. And I am a photographer, and I love photographing the portraits of trees. I photograph people and events also, but the trees. The trees. I love the trees, those of you who may have seen my work. So that's what I resonate with in the world, and how I love to show up and to share what I love. And I do love laughter, and World Laughter Day was started in 1998 by Dr. Don Katarian, who was the founder of laughter yoga. And he's a medical doctor who did research on laughter. And in the Bible, a merry heart doeth good. Right? A merry heart doeth good. And so he started doing research on laughter, And just to share with you a little bit of the history, that he started a joke club at first. It was, people were showing up and telling jokes, and the jokes after a few weeks started going south, and they said, hey, you gotta stop this. It's, you know, this doesn't feel good. You know, people bring things, they joke about things that, you know, can make someone feel less than, which creates separation, right? When we bring a joke out into the world, or we say things that create it separates us from our good. Whatever it is that triggers within us that separates us. So, you know, they said, hey, you gotta stop this. And so he did research, and he found that all you need to do is laugh. 10 minutes, Pat was saying, you know, you have to breathe, you gotta take a little bit of break. 10 minutes of mirthful laughter is equal to a 30-minute cardio exercise. And so this afternoon, we'll be doing laughter out in the garden at high noon. Around the world, people will be laughing in their time zone. So it would be part of the wave of laughter, world peace through laughter. Dr. Madan Kataria believes that if we can, and it's true, even if you're upset with someone, if you can make eye contact and laugh, it'll shift the chemistry in your body, it'll shift how you feel. And world peace through laughter, if we can laugh. I did learn something interesting. You know, laughter ignites our smile. It ignites our inner joy. And yesterday, when we were driving, I heard, or maybe it was 2 days ago, a talk on what smiles mean around the world. And there was, in an Asian country, and I don't remember which country it was, that you're not to smile at your elders. That was disrespectful, which I thought was interesting. And the other one was in Russia. If you smile, they think you're up to something. So, which I thought was interesting. It was like, so, you know, smiles do have different meanings in different parts of the world. But here in the United States, I believe if you smile at someone, they're going to smile back, and it just shifts. If you notice in the grocery store, when you're walking down the aisle, if you happen to make eye contact and smile for someone, they smile back. And you know what? That could be the only smile that they get that particular day. Could you imagine if you just walked around? And sometimes when I'm walking around and people are so solemn, I think, there's this song. What is it? I can't think. Smile for a while, let's be jolly, life shouldn't be so melancholy. And so sometimes I walk around with that, just how can I engage? How can I be part of the upliftment, even in the little tiniest bit? Do you notice that if you say something kind, or if somebody says something kind to you just randomly, it just shifts a little bit. It shifts how you feel. It shifts how you move around in the world. And it's so important, just if we could recognize just a little something about someone. You know, whether it's they've got this t-shirt with a great saying on it. Do you just read it kind of nonchalantly and walk by? Or do you say, oh, that's awesome, I love that? Or, you know, we were driving and somebody had a decal on their car, and we were trying to catch up with the, see the person and just give them a thumbs up. It was like, let's make the earth green again. Just whatever it can be to acknowledge that I see you. When we make eye contact with someone and we smile, it's like, I see you, hi. Just that little bit of recognition. But we never know what's going on in the world and, in people's world, in their lives. I mean, they could be having the most moment where it's just like, can somebody just reach out and touch me? Just touch my hand. And that could be powerful. It could be so powerful. The power of our words, and the power of our words in our mind. I have this quote for you I want to share. Cut myself off there. What is behind your eyes holds more power than what is in front of you. The thoughts that we think are more powerful than what's going on out here. For the thoughts that we think is the key, is the driver of what shows up here in our world, right? And so Ernest Holmes, I love this quote. Here's an Ernest quote. Let's see, where does that one go? We were born to be happy, to be abundantly supplied with every good thing, right? Everything is good, every good thing, to have fun in living, to consciously unite with the divine power that is around us and within us, and to grow and expand forever. To grow and expand forever. Last night we went to see some friends play. It was an African band. What is the name of the band? Do you remember? They show up and they play in Little Rock sometimes. They're from Fayetteville. It's an African drumming band. And afterwards we were having how you just kind of gravitate to certain people and you have a conversation. And we were talking about gratitude. Right? We're living in gratitude. For me, it's like, so here's an exercise for you. It's a laughter exercise that I do. When something shows up in my life, like, how many times I need a Kleenex. Oh, there's a box of Kleenex. Do you just say, oh, there's a box of Kleenex, and we'll like this. Or do you grab that Kleenex and say, oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ha, ha, ha. Right? But try it out. Let's try it together. Ready? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ha, ha, ha. So when something shows up in your life that you're thankful for, give it a little extra vibration, that thank you, just thank you, or thank you, thank you, thank you, ha, 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 gives it a little more lift, right? It gives it a little more lift. So as we lift the inner vibration, which lifts the consciousness, which calls forth a little more of that, I believe it brings it quicker to us. How quickly can we manifest? Jesus manifested like that, right? Right now. And it is in our belief that we can't manifest that quickly. But if we look at what we're thinking, being the watcher of our thoughts, as Eckhart Tolle says, being the watcher of our thoughts, and our thinking pattern, and see what's manifesting in our lives, and you are an amazing manifester. It's manifesting all the time, right? The law of reciprocation is always working. And so, I was trying to think of how to weave something that happened to me recently. And I had posted something on Facebook about World Laughter Day, that I was going to be here at Unity, and I was going to, be speaking about laughter. And I had a family member who said, "How can you be speaking at Unity when you promote division?" And I was like shocked. I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, and what he was referring to was that I am outspoken about things that I see that are injustice. And I did my little post about, as long as I am seeing this, yes, I am going to speak out against it. And it was interesting, I've never had a post deleted by Facebook. That whole post, including my laughter yoga at Unity, was deleted. And I share this with you because it was in my coming here and talking about laughter that triggered this person's response to me. And so with that, I did a little research, and the person that came to my mind was Martin Luther King. And Martin Luther King was very outspoken about the injustice that he saw, the injustice that was happening. And the quote that grabbed me and it plucked my heartstrings, and I have been thinking about it for 3 or 4 days, and will continue to think about it. As a mother, we were going to save our children, and we would leave the planet at that time. That would happen, right? do things for our children. And in the Martin Luther King quote, he said, I'm going to read it exactly, so I don't want to mess it up here. A man who does not have something for which he is willing to die is not fit to live. And that grabbed me. It grabbed me to the point of tears. To even just reading those words. What am I willing to die for? And some of you have taken a class that I do, the holding another's hand facing transition. I've done some study quite a bit of study. That was part of our work and had quite a bit of experience, especially through my practitioner studies on transition and holding another's hand facing transition. And my belief in the next phase of life is the next phase of our spiritual journey. You know, it's that calling forth of where am I to show up in this next journey of evolution of my spirit, of the divine. And so it's like, wow, what would I be willing to stand up for? And so if we're all in this thing together, that there is absolutely no separation. And so let's take a stand up. Let's stand up for a moment. And look around the room. Look around the room. And we've done this exercise before, but some of you have not. And so as you stand up and look around and make eye contact, take a deep breath. And exhale. And take another deep breath. Look around. And what do you notice? What's one thing that happens when we take a deep breath together?
People smile.
People smile, and there's only one of it that we're all breathing. There is absolutely no separation. As you breathe, I breathe, and can we just like see that this breath just going? And so it doesn't matter who or what. We're all divinely connected. And so when we add that laughter to it, let's add a laughter to it. Ready, go. Feel it in your belly. Very good. So as we put laughter in the air, as we put that laughter vibration in the air, and we're breathing in the laughter molecules. Right? And so going back to this quote of Martin Luther King, what are we, I just want to bring that to you to think about. To think about. There's been a lot of stuff going on in our world, in our country, where when we go to our sacred space, some people aren't coming out of their sacred space. When they gather, it's an amazing thing to watch. It's like, wow, can you wrap your brain? Some things I'm having a difficult time wrapping my brain around, and that's one of them. Well, a lot of things are happening. And so we have to do something, and when we laugh, it's not because the situation is funny, it's because it's a tool to get us back to homeostasis. Back to oneness. Yeah, we can use homeostasis and oneness as synonymously, right? I mean, it's who and what we are. And so when we use laughter as a tool, we can use laughter as a tool when we're starting to have a disagreement with someone. We could go, and we'll do some more of this in the yard. There's the good old gibberish. Come on, let's do some gibberish. Ready? Go. Very good, very good. That's a wonderful one to do in the grocery store, by the way. People will be wondering what language are they speaking. And if you do it as in conversation, I mean, can you see how that can enhance your life? One of my objectives when I come to Unity or to any place where I get to share what I love is what tool can I share that has helped me? What tool can I share that has enhanced my life? And that's really the purpose of our lives. Either we're enhancing lives around us, or Reverend Eloise Oliver, she shared one day, and it was like, sometimes it's just like one thing you take away is the takeaway from a talk that you heard 15 years ago and it still resonates. People are either asking for love or they're giving love. So when people are asking for love, it doesn't feel very good to those that they're asking love of. Right? And so it's important to have some kind of tool to be able to stay in wholeness, stay in your vibrational tone of knowing who you are, and not only knowing who you are, but knowing who they are. If we're all one in this universal body of God, that there's absolutely no separation, that we each have a job to do, just as each and every organ of the body temple has a job to do. Each and every one of us has something to do here on the planet. The work of the divine. You are the divine in expression. God cannot express itself in any other way but through its creation. Right? We say, oh, that was a miracle he showed up in my life. Am I talking too loud? Go ahead, tell me. There's a song. Oh.
Well, you're just talking about divine expression, right?
Okay, they want a song.
So this song is about divine expression.
Okay.
And you're not done yet.
I'm not done yet, right? Last night, a couple of weeks ago, I went to church in Hot Springs, and a friend of mine was talking, and he finished his talk, and then he sat down, and the person that was coming after him started doing their talk, and he said, oh, he stood up and said, oh, wait a minute, I got one more thing to say. And I'm like, oh, how many times have I felt that, but I've never done it? So I guess this was kind of giving me that opportunity, right, to say, oh, no, I'm not done yet. going.
I know you were on a roll. I didn't know that.
Will doesn't mind stopping me when I want to roll.
But Will and Travis had my back there.
Yeah. Okay, come on, laugh with me. Ready, go. It's a little short sermon today, but it's filled with laughter. You know, I think that laughter is God's favorite music. Right? There's this joyful, and it feels so good. Can you feel the difference in your body? Oh, yeah. Yeah? Can you feel 10 minutes of mirthful laughter is equal to a 30-minute cardio exercise? Scientifically proven. Scientifically proven. Laughter, there was a story, Norman Cousins. Some of you are familiar with that. Some of you had to watch the movie. Sorry, I didn't do that again. But it's a wonderful movie. It's about Norman Cousins, who he contracted a spinal disease, and his spine was fusing together, and he did all the traditional allopathic medicine, and his doctor said, Norm, it's time to decide whether you want to sit down for the rest of your life or whether you want to lay down for the rest of your life. And he took matters into his own hands, and he did high doses of vitamin C. His wife was into quality food. Now, there's a difference between in our time, in our day, in time, where we say, oh, this is good food because it tastes good. You know, it's good from right here, but then once it goes into the body temple, it has a different effect. Not so good sometimes. And so his wife was into quality food. I'm going to use quality instead of good food. Quality food. Quality food for the body temple and laughter. And he healed his dis-ease of the spine. And he was walking again. So there's some really important tools that we have. And we're not always taught about it. I know a few weeks ago when I was here, I think it was a couple months ago, I shared the book about water. So there's lots of really wonderful things that are free to us. And laughter is one of those gifts of the divine that we have. And sometimes laughter may not be always good if you've got some issues going on in the body temple where it might not be a good thing. I met a woman one time where she couldn't laugh or she would choke. Like something in her throat. She couldn't laugh. So I asked her if she could laugh just in her mind. So what's behind our eyes is more important than what's happening out here. The state of consciousness, the awareness that we have is more important. And so she was able to laugh in her mind. So try it. Ready to go. And so it just
the mind.
So there's a tool. Sometimes you could be in the grocery line and if somebody is fumbling with the good old-fashioned checkbook and taking a little bit longer than sticking that card in or paying cash or whatever it may be. If you could use this tool to help you not be in that, because your body believes every word you say. Right? The body believes every word you say. Before it goes out, before you ask, I will answer. So the body temple is responding. The divine within is responding to every thought you think. The cells of your body are responding to your thinking process. So if you can catch yourself, and I do it all the time, catch myself, and I have my moments, and I'll just either stop it, or 20, 19, 18, just something. Go count backwards, and then I'll give it a ha-ha-ha. To change the vibrational tone that I am feeling. And then it just shifts the thought that I was thinking to a better place. Because whatever I was thinking about that was not joyful. I want to play. I want to show up to life like play. Whatever it is I'm doing, whether it's I'm changing out boxes, whether I'm doing some mundane, I want to do it with joy.
Hey, Susan,
Yeah?
was there a song about that?
Go for it.
Who's into quality food?
Quality food?
Yes.
Go for it. This is testing me. Can I get back to it?
I think it's quality food.
Well, I saw this thing coming out of the sky. It had a long warm one way back. And it was shaking, and I said, "Ooh-wee, it looks like purple people eater to me."
There was a one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. Don't look strange to me. One-eyed.
Ah, yeah. Well, they came out of there and said, "Don't eat me." And they would say, "Oh, it's so rough. Well, I wouldn't eat you 'cause you're so tough."
There was a one-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn, flying purple people eater. Don't look strange to me. One-horn?
Oh, yeah. I said, "Mr. Purple People Eater, what's your line?" He said, "Purple people surely fine. But that's not the reason that I came to land. I want to give you a doll and a rock and roll band."
Well, that's my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater. If you don't undergo, flying purple people eater. We play funky music, regular people eater. A sight to see, oh my.
And then he swung from the tree. You better hold the ground, and they started to rock. Really rocking around, just a pretty little lady with it. Swinging to the
So whatever that's the word, that's my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater. If you don't undergo, flying purple people eater. We play funky music, regular people eater. A sight to see. Purple people?
Well, they put on his way.
Quality food.
What do you know? I saw one last night on the TV show. He was going out, he was knocking on the bed, yeah, knocking on the door.
Really was I love flying purple people eater. Flying purple people eater. Flying purple people eater. You could rock and roll.
That was good, right? So it's really given me what I asked for, right? Ask and you shall receive. Well, I'm going to stand up and say, "Oh, I forgot something." But I didn't forget. It's right here. And I want to share this, and I'll close out with a little meditation for us. But I live in faith that there is a presence and a power greater than I am that nurtures and supports me in ways that I could not even imagine. I know this presence is all-knowing and all-power and is always right where I am. That's Ernest Holmes. And then Marcus Aurelius, the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. And sometimes it's not easy to shift our thinking. Ernest Holmes says it sounds easy, but it's one of the most difficult things that we can do. Change our thinking. You know, there's that quote, change your thinking, change your life. Changing our thinking, changing the quality of our thoughts. What kind of thoughts do I want to have? Sometimes we experience things where it'll wake us up at night, and they're not very good. And they're, you know, I lost an external hard drive. Some of you know that I had some computer things stolen. My house was broken into during the summer, and this last week I lost an external hard drive. My God, what are you telling me about these external hard drives, my computer, the stuff in storage? Maybe I need to work a different way. I need to work a different way. And so I've worked on that. Was my thought this week. You know, it was like, can I change change that thought. And so with that, I want to share this piece with you. In that idea that I lost that external hard drive, there was work on there. There was important work on there. The quote that kept coming to my mind, I will never leave you or forsake you. I will never leave you or forsake you. There is more to come, right? There is more to come. Things show up in our lives that appear to be not so good. Jesus says, judge not by appearances. And I will never leave you or forsake you. And so I am holding on to that I am loved and supported. That I am loved beyond measure. And what's true for me is true for you. God does not play favorites. Something can, if it's a truth principle, if it's truth for all of us, not some of us. Not because you come from over there or because you come from over there. It's true for all of us. We're all in this thing together. There's absolutely no separation. And so I'd like you to close your eyes. Let us waste no further time looking for the secret of success or happiness. Already the door is open, and whosoever will may enter. And so let's enter. Let's enter into that door right now. Let's go to the upper chamber. The upper chamber of our minds. The upper chamber of the divine. We are born to be happy. Every cell of my body, not personal to me, but to us, every cell of my body knows this. I am abundantly supplied with every good thing. To have fun in living. To express happiness. To feel the divine presence within me is joy. I love my God, and my God loves me. I am loved beyond measure. I am loved and supported beyond my wildest dreams. I am living the life of God. Confirming the divine essence and presence of God that is my very life. That I live that my highest and most holy good is at hand, that the divine essence and presence of God is forever and ever expressing itself in its highest and most holy way in every aspect of life. That I see good, I feel good, I am good. Knowing and trusting that life supports life, that life gives to itself the very best there is. And I claim and affirm that right here and right now, that any thought or idea that hinders this goodness from expressing itself in any way, in any form, falls away with ease and grace and compassion effortlessly. With a deep sense of appreciation, knowing that this word that I speak goes forth and it does not return to me void, but it is complete in the matter for which it is sent. That this word that I speak is a law unto itself. But the answer is always yes. 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 I claim and affirm that the joy that we feel in our hearts is forever and ever expanding into a higher vibration. I just give thanks. I say thank you, Almighty God. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ha ha ha. Yes. I give thanks. And I let go and I let God, and so it is. Amen. Are you ready to come back to the space? Open your eyes, put your hands together. And with gratitude, I say thank you.
Thank you. Let's give Julie another round of applause. Let's everybody laugh at Julie. Wow. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Precious, so y'all going to let you know, well, let's do our love offering and then we'll let you know what we need to let you know. And they'll come on forward, Dave and Linda. This church is supported through our own giving, through our tithes and our gifts. So, if you like what we're trying to do here at Unity of Little Rock, if you can get behind the mission, then we ask for your support. Unity of Little Rock, we need benefactors. We need people who are here that want to support a church like this, where it's an alternative to what you get in the churches down the street. And have you ever thought about what would happen if Unity of Little Rock was not here? What if these doors were shut? Where would we go? I don't know where I would go. So let's, everybody, thank you for your gifts. Let's keep that in mind. Come to my house, So anyway, that's together. I'll give our blessing, our offering blessing. So if you will, say with me, divine love has me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
So can we act with them?
So Some Steve was being down. Trout.
Thank you, Tam. Thank you, Bill. I love it. What a wonderful service it's been. So, got a couple of announcements to make. One is Wednesday night is going to be the Songwriters Group. Meets here at Unity Church.
Sorry, I have to take this. I'm going to have to cancel that this weekend. I have commitments.
Oh, okay. So, never mind. No Songwriters Group. So that's the announcement. No Songwriters Group this Wednesday night. Look for it next month. It'll be here. I know we've got Sounds of Unity coming up on the 17th, so that's going to definitely be going on. So Sounds of Unity, the 17th at 7 p.m. Everybody can come out. It's going to be a great. Who's
Trey Johnson,
Trey
our
Johnson.
flyer this year.
Trey Johnson.
That's fun. Did we get the flyers? We have to go.
I got it printed, I just haven't had a chance to make copies yet.
So we'll have flowers.
I'll do that probably after this year.
And then also I want to announce again that we're going to have another cleanup day on Saturday, May 18th from 9 to 12. So come out, bring your gloves, bring your tools, and help us out, and maybe we can all go to lunch afterwards. So, and speaking of lunch, we've got some Jason's Deli sandwiches over there and some of the sides. So you've got time, and at noon, we want to be out.
10 minutes, let's be there at 10 minutes, just
10 minutes
to
till
get ready.
noon, and then Susan Jude's going to take us to the little.
Yeah, we'll do some laughter. It's a big part of world peace through laughter. The world of laughter yoga, those that know about laughter, and we've been sharing it about, that it's World Laughter Day. World peace through laughter.
Yeah.
So come on.
Come on, and it's not going to be 10 or 15 minutes, or another.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a short, and then you can get out and enjoy your afternoon.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Yeah, so, are there any other announcements, Linda? No? Pam's got her hand up.
Unity. Sounds of Unity.
Oh, we talked about that. Yeah, we talked about that. Sounds of Unity. All right, well, let's gather up in the middle here, let's circle up, and then we'll say our prayer of protection and have our peace song. And we can go inside and enjoy the spring.